How many of you here has ever built something, has ever made something? Come on, need more hands. I made cereal this morning, come on. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I saw a lot of hands go up, but I'm positive that everyone in this room has made something at least in one point in their life. We at DriveAI, well, we're building self-driving cars or autonomous vehicles. Now, many people tend to think this is only relegated to large tech companies, auto manufacturers, and geniuses. Well, we beg to differ. It's funny because several years ago, I was not a fan of autonomous vehicles. I became introduced into the space because I was working on a car documentary during my time at Rutgers in Newark. And I looked up one of the co-founders of DriveAI. His name was Praful. And at that time, he was running a meetup group called the Self-Driving Vehicle Meetup Group. So I decided to interview him. And here was this 20-year-old kid, we're around the same age, and he's telling me that one day they're going to take away the brakes, the steering wheel, and the accelerator. And I'm looking at him, I'm saying, man, this guy wasn't so popular in high school, was he? And so I told him, I said, over my dead body. But it could have been exactly that, because a year before that, I got into a car accident. I was driving down Route 206. It was dark, it was raining, and I was tired because earlier that day, I had just finished a track meet. And by the time I had woken up, my car already ran into a guardrail. And it took me several months to get used to being behind the wheel. And I remember my mom asking me, oh, are you okay? Are you okay? I was trying to be tough. And I said, yeah, I'm fine. But deep down, I was scared. I was scared for my life. I didn't want to get behind the steering wheel. But it took me about a year to get confident again behind that steering wheel. And that only happened because a friend took me alongside of him and taught me how to fix my car. He taught me the inner workings. And through that, I gained a deep appreciation for the automobile. And more so, I gained a deep appreciation for driving itself. The burble of the engine, the wind through my hair. I couldn't have anything. I just loved it. And so for Praful to tell me that he's going to take all of these enjoyable aspects, I told him I would have none of this. So I decided to take him up on his offer and visit the self-driving vehicle meetup group. And at that time, they're only experimenting on a little RC car. It was no bigger than a Hess truck that you see in the commercials. And it was running on your few off-the-shelf sensors and an onboard computer called Raspberry Pi. It was cute. I wasn't really impressed. I was more fearful of breaking it because it was so small running around my feet. But what really got me hooked was that these guys came together and said, look, we want to build a self-driving car. And at that time, I was very aware of the efforts of Google and the Teslas, but I can see in these guys' eyes that they didn't care. They didn't want to waste time. They didn't want to wait for anybody to put something out and for them to consume. And this really resonated with me because coming from Nigeria at a young age, with my parents, I watched them produce a lot with their hands, making amazing food for us, preparing bits and pieces around the household, to making last-minute car repairs so that me and my siblings could make it to school on time. I saw them produce everything we had in our house with their hands. And I saw those same values in this group of guys. So I said, I want to be a part of that because this is the control that we all sought. This is the control that we all sought and how we can take the autonomous vehicle space a step further. And we want to have everybody join us for that ride. So we formed DriveAI, myself, Praful, Travis, and Parth. What started from a little RC car turned into a full-size go-kart. We called it the cockroach. But at times, I called it Cujo, because the way it just went haywire in us. But sooner than later, we were able to tame the beast. And we finally learned the mistakes we made. We understood the steps we needed to take to move forward. But more than anything, we realized that this is an enormous moment in our time right now. We have one of the greatest inventions since the creation of the internet. And like the internet, it was made by millions of people who produce websites, applications, and provided us a way to gain access to information even faster than ever before. And so just like the internet, we want to do the same thing with autonomous vehicles. We want you to be a part of that movement with us. Now, it won't be easy. Things will be difficult. Things will get messy. There will be a lot of misunderstanding and things will be new. But those who are in it with us today will be the ones who shape the reality of tomorrow. And I want you to be that force. Now, outside of this room, we have a demo. But I want you to realize that this is only the first step. We're really excited to show you what we have. But you must understand that this is day one. Thank you.